Hello everyone and welcome to my January wrap up and my February TBR. I know this video is slightly late, but this is literally the first opportunity I've had to sit down and film it and get it to you. So these are going to be books that I read in January outside of the two readathons that I did in January. I've already done wrap ups for both the readathons I did in January, so I will leave a link to both of those wrap up videos in the description down below so you can see some more books that I read this month. But I have 5 books to talk about with you in the wrap up section. I gave one of them 3 stars and the other 4 stars. So the book that I gave 3 stars to was Tell Me Again How a Crush Should Feel by Sarah Farizan. This is a YA contemporary romance about a Muslim girl in high school, and she discovers that she is lesbian when a new girl starts at her school, and she's obviously attracted to her. And I've been reading a lot of diverse books recently, and the reason this was just 3 stars is because it just kind of fell a little bit flat compared to the other books that have the same kind of themes in it that I've read. I don't know what exactly I wanted more from it, but I just wanted something more. It may have been the writing style that I just didn't gel with, but it was just a kind of general cheesy YA romance, and I think I just wanted a little bit more of a dimension, a little bit more of an edge to it that I didn't really get, unfortunately. So although it was okay, it's not a book that I'm going to reread, and it's probably a book that I will forget about in a few months, unfortunately. The next 2 books that I gave 4 stars to are The Darkest Minds and Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken. These are the first 2 books in the Darkest Minds trilogy. This is a YA dystopian trilogy about an America where there has been a disease that has wiped out the majority of young people between the ages of about 10 and 17, I think it is, and the survivors of the disease have been left with these incredible powers, and the government and various organisations are trying to capture these kids to run experiments on them and make them do some nasty stuff. It's quite gritty and pretty dark in some places. I did want to finish this trilogy this month, but time and work and life just meant that I couldn't. But I did read the first 2, really enjoyed them. I just love Alexandra Bracken's world building. I love her characters. I was really invested, particularly in Liam, who is the love interest in this series. I just love him, particularly in the first book. I was just rooting for him, and then obviously throughout Never Fade I was just constantly on edge about, you know, what was going to happen to him. So yeah, because obviously in YA dystopians the terrible tragic things always happen to the characters that you like. But yeah, I really have to pick up the last one. So yeah, really love this trilogy, and I really hope that things get better for the characters after the end of Never Fade. So yeah, definitely pick it up if you like a dystopian with some pretty twisted, gritty scenes in them. Another book that I gave 4 stars to, and I'm not going to show you the cover because the lighting means that you literally won't see it on my iPad, but it is A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Barnard, and I did write a full review of it, so I will leave a link to that review in the description down below. You can see the cover on that, and it's a beautiful cover, so please check it out. It's a YA contemporary about a girl called Steffi who is a selective mute, and when a deaf boy starts at her school, he is paired with her because she knows sign language, and they obviously form a friendship, and they kind of go into their own little world together because they are the only ones that can communicate with each other effectively, and it's just a really gorgeous book. So if you enjoyed her first book, Beautiful Broken Things, definitely recommend it, but I much preferred A Quiet Kind of Thunder, so even if you weren't so keen on Beautiful Broken Things, I would say definitely give A Quiet Kind of Thunder a go, but read my review if you are at all interested in that. And the last book that I read and gave 4 stars to this month is Fractured by Danny Atkins, and I don't know if you can see that cover very well, but this is a adult contemporary romance about a girl whose life changes one night when she is 18. She goes out after her exams with all of her friends to a restaurant, and a car accident happens, and basically from that moment her life is split into 2. It's very weird, and you don't really know exactly what's true and what's lies. You're getting basically 2 versions of what happened to her that night, and the ending, huge twist that I didn't see coming at all. Really lovely characters. I'd never read a Danny Atkins book before, and I just saw this on my Kindle and just felt like giving it a go, so I did give it 4 stars, as I said, and I would actually really love to read some more of Danny Atkins just to see if she always does those pretty unexpected twists at the end. So yeah, yeah, definitely recommend it if you are into adult contemporary chick lit, but chick lit that has a kind of different dimension to it. It's not kind of the kind of predictable chick lit. You do have to kind of think, and as I said, there was a twist at the end that I didn't see coming, so if you like that sort of thing, definitely check it out. And now on to my February TBR. So the first book that I want to read in February is Winter Song by S.J. Jones, and I'm actually currently reading this. This is a YA fantasy with goblins in it. I'm only a couple of chapters in, and I'm really liking the writing style so far. I will be writing a review when I've read it, so keep an eye out for that. This is a really, really highly anticipated YA release for this year. I think it comes out at the beginning of March, so I will obviously review it before then and obviously let you guys know what I thought of it. Another book that I obviously want to read during February is In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken, and this is the third and final book in the Darkest Minds trilogy, and I'm really, really hoping that this does not have a tragic ending, because as I said, I have so many feelings for Liam and Ruby as well. I do like Ruby. She's a pretty cool protagonist, and there are a lot of awesome side characters in this trilogy as well, but yeah, I'm really, really worried, guys. Really, really worried about what's going to happen to these characters. But I'm looking forward to seeing what does. Another book that I really want to read in February, and I know this was in my January TBR, but I really do want to get round to it this month, and that is The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. This is a adult historical fantasy type thing set in Essex, which I know very well. I used to go there pretty much every other week for about 5 years when I was with my ex-boyfriend, who lives in Essex, and particularly Colchester, which is where this is set. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover, obviously, and this has won quite a few awards last year as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting into this and hopefully getting a review up. And the last book that I want to read in February, and I know I'm not going to finish it in February, but I want to make a start on it in February, is It by Stephen King. There's a remake of the film coming out in September, and I'm actually going to be buddy reading this with my friend Steve over at the Lawn Gnome, whose channel I will leave a link to in the description down below. He's awesome, please check him out. And we are going to be attempting to read this huge monster of a book. I really do want to read it, obviously, before the new film comes out. It's going to take me a while to read, so this is not going to be in my February wrap-up, but yeah, I am going to be making a start on it, and I'm really looking forward to reading some classic Stephen King horror again. And that is it for my January wrap-up and my February TBR. What did you read in January? What are you hoping to read in February? I would love to know. I am also going to be taking part into readathons again in February, so I'm going to be doing TBRs for those really, really soon. I know this has kind of been a very kind of hurried and kind of weird jumble of a video, but I had a pretty late night last night, and I've not been sleeping all that well, if I'm going to be totally honest, and I've been working really hard, been really busy at work, so I'm literally just throwing videos together at the moment, so I'm really, really sorry if the quality has decreased at all, but I will try to get back on track really, really soon. I will leave all of my social media in the description down below. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye bye.